Hi, everybody. Grady Polson. Welcome to the America Agency. Out of stage. Did you do that? I'll click one of the middle ones to make me up there. Try that one. We're gonna get it. No, that's gotta be. No, here you go. Cancel. This one. Is it this one? Is it this one? What do you think it is? I remember. Present. No.
We added your signature. Should we access the screens?
The settings again. It's showing that. Are you sharing right now? I don't know. Try to remember. Is this one? That one? Remove that one. Okay. Start cam. Start cam. Present. I don't know if it exit solo yet.
No, so right now it doesn't have one.
Right. There you go. Boom. All right, let's make sure sound. All right. Can you hear me? Please drop a 1 in the chat below if you can hear me. Thank you for your patience as we navigate tech. Let me know if you can hear me. And that would be wonderful. Oh, I love you guys so much. All right, here we go. Thank you. Everyone drop a TYJ in the chat below to show Jade some love for navigating new tech and figuring this stuff out. Will you close out that box over there on that other screen? Look over here where I'm pointing. Just close that out for me. So, DYJ, look at all these thank you Jades. You can hear me okay? I already see Nicolette. We got a couple quick updates which I will rip through, and then we're going to get on to the good stuff. So fun seeing so many of you on here supporting Nicolette. I am assuring you an absolutely fantastic call. Not only is Nicolette humble and driven, she's absolutely passionate about this business and loves helping people get started. So whether you're young at heart, whether you're new or you're seasoned, wherever you are in this business, you're going to learn something from this call today. So it's going to be fantastic. We're going to do a couple quick updates, and then we're going to bring Nicolette on and we're going to get ripping and rolling. So here we go. Remember how to do that. Can you? Yes. Bingo. All right, we got it. All right, couple quick updates for you. Lead Center right now, 20% off discount. Veteran Life Leads and Index Universal Life Leads, real-time campaigns. If you heard last week, Tanner was on, absolutely tremendous training call. We'll have that out here in the next few days. He runs pretty much exclusively him and his agency that grew from $0 to $500,000 a month. In 6 months, Tanner Mendelson was absolutely fantastic, but him and his agency use Veteran Life Leads. It's a very simple sale. It's a targeted sale. On top of that, the majority of the company right now is using IUL leads, and we love our partnership with Integrity and Lead Center, giving us the ability to get high quality leads directly to our CRM. We can use them in Lead Center. We can export them to any CRM we're using. We can also use them with Life Center. So thank you, Integrity. 30% off Ethos aged abandoned cart leads. I mean, I might know of a handful of new agents that aren't using these leads right now. The date is 5/5. So right now, 5/5 through 5/31. That's a huge timeline. So $8 leads, 30% off. That's $2.40 off. I didn't even need help with math this week. That leaves it at $5.60 a lead of someone that was on a life insurance website looking at buying life insurance, put in the majority of their information and got just confused or cold feet at the last second, or the dog jumped out on the table and spilt milk, or they had to go to their kids something or other. And who knows what happened, but they didn't finish buying life insurance. So they abandoned the cart of buying life insurance, and they're waiting now for someone, you guys, to give them a call and help them finish that process with whichever care you want. So we love our partnership with Ethos. We love the ability that we have to connect with them and to be able to get and take advantage of their Ethos cart of people that didn't finish the process. So Blossom 25 right now until the end of the month, 30% off, $8 leads, which I know I got agents that are actually crushing with these leads. So you can sell them term, you can sell them whole life, you can sell them IULs. It opens the door to have conversations at $5.40. Absolutely incredible. So thank you, Integrity. Thank you, FFL. Jump in and grab some, please. Live dials. We love talking about live dials. We've got so many different dial rooms. I was dialing for 6 hours yesterday, had an absolute amazing time jumping and back and forth all the different rooms, seeing people making sales, seeing people overcome objections, seeing people book appointments. If you're not plugged into a dial team, you're really not taking advantage of what this business has. Unless you go to a physical office every day, a live dial room is truly where you should be, connecting with your team, learning from other people, making it happen. We've got a whole bunch of them from our agency. I'm sure other agencies have theirs that they're using and supporting. But plug into them, make this part of your process. Lone wolves die alone. It's a great line in life. And the ability in this business, being frustrated and being yet determined to be able to make it happen, the answers are on live dials. People making it happen are on live dials, and that's where we try to put you to be, so you can go out there and make it happen, but also learn from people that are making sales each and every day. Lead Champ Pro, my favorite CRM, the favorite CRM of many, many agents we've got right now who are using technology to increase their booking, to increase their persistency, to work out old leads. I can't think of how many agents I know that are jumping on this. Now, granted, we do as Integrity agency, FFL America, the America Agency, Family First Life, all of us are under that incredible Integrity umbrella. They have provided for and created us Life Center, which right now has final expense and simple IUL, immediate quote, running background checks, direct single sign-on right into the app of each of those carriers. So absolutely wonderful tool. Essentially eliminates the cost or need for insurance toolkits. Now, many of us love insurance toolkits. Use it if it works. Try Life Center. But it's a great, great tool for brand new agents to be able to get clarity on where to place clients, right? Many of your leadership pays for the underwriting genies that contributes to having a team of people that are ready to give you quotes for 12 hours a day in our in-home help channel. You can ask questions, but sometimes you want a second opinion. Sometimes you're moving too fast. I totally get it, but that's what Life Center offers. Now, when you're ready to graduate, if you're starting to put up 20, 30 a month, 15, 20, 30 a month, and you're trying to move to the next level, you're trying to graduate into squeezing out all of the profitability from your leads, creating follow-up processes to make sure you're creating annual reviews, using AI to book appointments. That's where Lead Champ comes in. We struck a deal with them. Standard cost is $297 a month. With code FFL, knocks it down to $247 a month. We're so grateful for that partnership with them. I can't think of many agents I know that are really exploding, selling IULs, running their own campaigns, have a large volume. I'm talking 5,000, 10,000 leads. I can't think of many agents that aren't using it. So if you're at that level or you aspire to be, look into it, book a free demo with them. Absolutely great partnership we have with that company. And last but not least, we have our top 100 list. Incredible April, 4 weeks in. We still have a couple days left. The way the numbers shine out, we'll have our final April month end. But to see in 4 weeks, in 28 days, our agency, all of you guys, put up $12,704,720 of issue paid volume. This is not Submit. This is not quotes. This is not life insurance coverage. This is commissions in to 1,552 agents, paid out in 28 days. Absolutely incredible. Business that went issued, meaning it was submitted, it was approved, client made their first payment, agent got paid. And that's, I mean, it's incredible to see these numbers continue to rise. People continue to explode. But the power is that people are looking for coverage. People now more than ever are looking for something safe to put their money in, for like an IUL type product. The Silver Tsunami says that 15,000 people a day are turning 65, means they're retiring. They're losing their work benefits that they thought were permanent, but they're realizing that Nancy at HR was lying the whole time, and they don't get to keep that, they're taking $23 out of my check, Grady. I know they do that, but because it's a tax deduction for them. But then when you retire or quit, you don't get to take it with you. That's why most of my clients, Mary, get a permanent policy, something they own from a private insurance company that is a contract between them and there. So the Silver Tsunami, we've got that. We've got many people having babies. We've got people buying homes. There's so many different people that are looking to purchase life insurance. And then there's 1,552 of us that are going out there and protecting them. It's an honor. I love being an insurance agent. I love having an insurance agency of people that go out there and selflessly care, right? We get compensated very highly for caring, and that's okay, because without us going out and doing our job, those families wouldn't be protected. So be proud of who you are. Drop a P in the comments below if you're proud to be an insurance agent, because heck, I know I am, and that's what we do. So great job, everybody that went out there and made it happen. So proud of you all. So excited to be seeing these numbers continue to go up and up and up, because it just shows how many families we're taking care of. Last but not least, we are 28 days away from Ignite. I've been working on the agenda with corporate, some super surprises that they're putting together. Daniel G is coming. If you're a social mediaite like all of us, go check out his Instagram, Daniel G. That's his Instagram. I wonder what his last name is. I should figure. It's G as far as I know. But Daniel G, fantastic sales trainer. So excited. Been connecting with him and his team, and just has a great message. He's built sales teams. He's recruited like crazy. He's made tons of money, and now he's transformed himself into a sales trainer. So happy to have him. I'm excited he's going to be there. I'm more excited about the 84 other top producers and agency managers who are going to come across stage. But sometimes it's nice to get a different voice. It's nice to get a different perspective. And so I'm grateful to Sean and corporate for investing the money to bring someone like this in. The event is free. We're looking at over 1,000 people have registered right now. We're trying to get to that 2,000-3,000 mark. So if you haven't committed, why not do it? Join us. Be there. You know, it's free. Get better, right? The only place that you can guarantee a positive return is not the stock market. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Forex. It's within yourself. And so, granted, there's no cost to attend the event, but there is a cost to get yourself there. You got gas, you got food, maybe you got to take work off. Maybe you're going to fly in like 1,000 of people that are coming in from all over the East Coast, Northwest, Midwest, etc. We're so excited people are investing in themselves to make the decision to get better, because when you do that, the information you retain hits you a little bit more. He goes, all right, this is important. I need to start applying this stuff. I need to start putting this stuff into play. I need to start being average and ordinary and start going out there and making it happen. An event like this can truly shake, you know, the tree, the branches of what you've got going on in your life, that you're looking for that thing to carry you forward and push you forward to go out finally and make it happen. So I'm so excited for Daniel G, but again, I'm more excited for all of our top producers and top agency managers. They're going to give their heart on stage and help us all get better. So igniteevent.com, please as managers, please as producers, get yourself registered. We need an accurate head count for some of the stuff we're doing. But at the same standpoint, we're so excited to be everyone that's making it and coming out. So without further ado, last but not least, let me do my quick commercial before we bring Nicolette on. A party is always fun with more people. And I say this every week because I like to party. I say this every week because it's true. And we've got a ton of people on it here, almost 200. So grateful to see that. But you all have group chats and WhatsApps and Telegrams and all kinds of different places where you've got new agents, top producers, people that are stuck, people that are ho-hum, people that have just given up, people that are trying to make it happen, people that are making it happen, might just need new perspective. Nicolette has been with us for a few years, and in the past 4 months has completely transformed herself, her business, and the words she says and the actions she takes every day to make her business evolve. I couldn't be proud of her, couldn't be more excited to hear her and learn from her. But I'm doing okay. I want you guys to do better, and you want you to do better, and you want your team to do better. So invite them on to join us. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or right here live on the internet on a website, theamericaagency.com/live. Send this link out. Invite people on. Say, come learn from a top producer, top agency manager on what we're doing in the insurance space. May or may not be for you, but it's worth taking a look because this girl's going to lay it down. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that rings true. Hopefully you guys go out there and do and invite people, because I've invited thousands on. And, I'm excited to see how Nicole does here, but she's going to do great. So let's do it. I'm going to take a sip. Oh, that was so quick. It used to take a minute for all to load up. Let's see. I think you're muted. Can I hear?
Yeah, it keeps muting me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're
yes.
Good?
We're
I said, how much caffeine have you had today?
Getting better and better. So let me give you a proper intro and let's get into some fun stuff. So hello, everybody. Grady Paulson, the American Agency. So excited to have Nicolette McGannon on with us today. Recently married, but also recently reborn in the business and is just exploding. Introducing this every day, finding great people, helping them get up, started, ready, rolling, and getting compensated, taking care of clients and families. Insurance is one of the most respected professions that we get to take part in. I thank God every day that I found this industry, and I know you do. I know so many people do, because I could still be serving tables at Kona Grill at the mall, and that would be a different world for my family right now. But thank goodness that someone reached out to me at some point, and someone reached out to you and said, hey, take a look at this insurance thing. We help families, we get paid. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And fast forward, here we are a few years later, and here you are, the business doing almost $500,000 a month issue paid volume, and it's just incredible. So first off, how are you doing today, Nicolette?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here. Super grateful.
Awesome. We are as well. So, let's, it's always important to give background and clarity, right? We've all came from somewhere. We've all overcome something. We've all had to make decisions. And I would love if you would, share your story on how you found insurance, what you were doing before, and kind of carry us forward to where we are today. Sitting in a beautiful new office, by the way.
Yes, I love it. You can't see the mountains on that side, but beautiful view. So I've been in insurance. I've had my license for 5 years in April. So just over 5 years now that I've been licensed. So if we go back in time, that was right at the beginning of COVID. I went to ASU, studied business. My whole dream was always to go into medical device sales or some kind of corporate sales, because I always knew I just wanted to do something where I could work extremely hard and make a ton of money. And I always just thought med sales was the top way to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I graduated, I got a corporate job. I was doing the steps to get there, get the experience. And I did a corporate job for about a year. It was great. I got super bored really quick. I ended up quitting that job to travel the world for 3 months and, do what everybody does when they graduate college and go, find yourself and figure life out. I had everything planned. And then a week before my flight was supposed to leave, the whole world shut down. And so I never left. But I had already quit my job. So I was like, well, what do I do now? And a friend of mine, actually, she was in the life insurance industry. She reached out to me. She said, well, you've always wanted to do sales. You would be great at this. You just take a test. It takes a couple of weeks to get your license. And then we do everything remote. And I was like, okay, cool. She's like, you make commission. It's going to be great. You'll crush it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Didn't ask that many questions, got my license and started doing that. I actually started in the industry with a captive insurance company. So if anybody doesn't know the difference between captive and being a broker, captive means you work for the insurance company essentially. So you sell their product only. You don't really have options outside of that. So I did that for about a year. I liked it, but eventually I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't feel like I have as much opportunity in that structure from the clients, but also from a commission standpoint too. Somebody else controlled my lead flow. I just didn't feel like I had as much ownership or control as I really had initially wanted. So I ended up after that, had a few people that had come over to FFL, saw what they were doing. They were crushing it and came over here. So I've been here for about 3 years now. And when I came over here, I honestly just was like, I'm going to just sell. I don't want to recruit. I don't want to build a business. I just want to sell life insurance. Like, don't bug me about it. And I did that for the first year. Everything we did in person at the time with clients. So, I mean, I know, Grady, you remember, but I think most people these days like have absolutely no clue what that was like.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough. I think it was definitely tougher as like a female too, to have to do that. Anybody that's ever done door-to-door sales or like any kind of like in-person sales where you're going in people's homes, I think is difficult for anybody. I think it's 10 times harder even as a woman. So we did that, but I literally had to like give up my apartment, like move out, like go move to a different state, like live with family because I had no money and like there was no leads here at the time. Like you were refreshing the CRM every 30 seconds to get 2 or 3 leads at a time, and you'd buy them and then you'd refresh again and hope that you could get 2 more to get enough leads for a single dial day. And it was absolutely crazy. So it's changed a lot in the 3 years. I love how you said, like, I've kind of been like reborn in the business. And I honestly feel like I've been reborn in the business many times in the last 5 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things you shared, but like right now in our CRM, I think we have 500,000 leads nationwide from brand new ones to levels of aged. But the beauty about aged is they're cheaper and they haven't bought yet because we scrub them against the carriers. And if they purchased insurance, we take them out. And that's just what it's like being partnered with like an Integrity, is they have all the clients and all the data and they give them to the best producers, which is FFL. So we're grateful to be there. But so I loved all of that. And I'm sorry you didn't get to go to Bali or wherever you were. That was, you can go now and you can probably stay at a nicer hotel. You won't have to stay at a hostel this time, that's there's silver linings to everything.
Yes.
So I always love digging in a minute about, because there's so many people that go, FFL has all this and all this and all this, but why don't I look at X, Y, or Z company? FFL doesn't have like a stadium, and FFL isn't like have commercials in the middle of the NBA finals. Why don't I go over with this company? And so just for like one is like, we give our money to our producers, which is part of that. But 2, like people don't understand how good it is here. So just if you could give a little tiny bit more color behind like your captive experience to like coming here, and then, yes, you were used to run in person. The industry evolved now, right? We do 99.9% virtual. But what was it like being at a captive company?
It was very difficult. It was very tough. So the way it worked, like I said, you work for like one insurance company. So you have their product to sell, their product only. So that's what I was trained on. That's the only product I knew how to sell. It's the only thing I knew how to pitch. I just assumed it was the absolute greatest product in the entire world, that there was nothing else out there. And like what we had was the best, which from a sales training perspective is great. Like you should be that confident in what you're selling with your clients, but I didn't even know there was anything outside. And the way it worked is they would provide me with leads. So my commission percentage was probably, honestly, it was less than half of what it was when I started here. Yeah.
What was it when you started?
I want to say it was like 40%. I don't remember, like it had to be like 40%, but I'm like here, I mean, the starting is 80. That's crazy. It's literally half. And they provided leads. So I, had somebody who would say, hey, here's your 30 leads for the week. This is your lead pack. This is what you're going to dial. And they were all like leads that had been recycled by a different agent. And we would swap lead packs like every 2 or 3 weeks. And, you just sat there and you dialed the same 30 people for 5 hours a day, every single day, the same people. And I remember so many times just literally being in tears. Like, what do? I can't get, like, I don't know what to do. I can't get these people on the phone. I've called them, I've texted, like everything. And when you only have 30 leads that you're dialing for 4 weeks straight, like everything is working against you. And so I just remember like always having to beg for more leads and feeling like I had to break down to get to that point. And that's like where I ended up getting frustrated and being like, I can't do this anymore. And I, at the time, didn't even realize there were opportunities where you could get leads. I didn't know that was something that existed. So when I found this, that was something like I was so excited about, that I got to purchase leads. Like it was up to me. So I think I also like worked those leads like a lot differently. Like when I'm like, okay, I got to like buy this lead batch, sure, I'm going to buy 30 leads to start. Okay. Like I'm hammering them. And like, when you've really worked those leads. So then it was up to me to say like, okay, I need to get a few more, like to keep going, or no, like, let me be honest with myself. Did I really dial in that hard, or, whatever, but it put it into my control instead of somebody else's control. And I always explain it when I'm talking to people, like about the difference between the two is I see being a captive agent as more like having an employee mindset to the insurance company, but you still work only on commission most of the time. Like you're not getting paid a salary most of the time. You're still making commission way lower, but somebody else is in control of everything you're doing. They're telling you, here's how many leads you can have. This is all you can do. You have one product, that's it. So you're limited. So I was like, well, if I'm going to make commission, and in any kind of sales, like, why would I not stack the deck in my favor and give myself more opportunity for me and also more opportunity for my clients, so I can get as many leads as I want when I want. I can run whatever lead type I want. At the time, I could go to any state that I want where we needed to travel. Now it's very different. I can buy in 10 states at once and dial all the different time zones. I can buy leads to dial at 5 a.m. my time on the East Coast, and I can buy leads in Hawaii if I want to keep dialing till 11 p.m. But I get to make that decision. And so for me, that was extremely exciting again, because it's like I was somebody that was going to work extremely hard and put in that effort. Like I wanted a system where I could plug that in and just like have more of an opportunity for success.
Yeah, it's so true. It shows the maturity which you have to be a business owner, right? From the ambition early on to get in medical device sales, there was some sort of to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There's a level of accountability, maturity, of discipline that you've got to ascend to. And so for those listening, like, you might go, well, I've got to buy leads, right? Well, if you think of any business you pass as you drive to the office, or you go to the grocery store, or any business you pass is spending some amount of marketing dollars to create awareness that their business exists. That's how it works. Whether or not they lease out a very busy corner on a busy intersection, part of their marketing cost is foot traffic that will cross that busy intersection. They paid more for that access versus a business that's in the back corner, or a business that's just run online. Our marketing cost is purchasing leads. Now, you don't have to purchase leads. I've got an agent right now that is left solar, and he's a great guy, but he's not got the phones figured out yet. But he's like, Grady, I can knock 200 doors a day. I'm just going to go knock them and figure out if they're interested in buying life insurance. And he's made like 5-6 sales so far in his first 2 weeks, because he's just not got the phone figured out yet, but he's amazing on the doors. And so we don't care how you make your sales, as long as you're ethical and moral, taking care of your clients and putting them in the absolute best position possible. We've just figured out that the best way to create speed to sales and speed to issue is buying leads. And however you choose to come up with clients, by all means. So I loved your perspective and I feel like it was you or someone back at our old Mesa office would talk about time traveling, where you dial back into Hawaii. And I was like, this is a fantastic, I love that concept. So, so let's talk about getting started selling, as a new agent, or now a more seasoned agent. Let's dig into that more now as more of a seasoned agent. How are you getting agents up and selling now? And then we'll get into some recruiting, but I want to talk about selling more, because that's always the biggest hiccup that agents will get is I don't know what to do, or do I need to be on all these Americo product emails calls? And then, I want to learn every product and the ins and outs because I want to do what's best for my client. So do you think we don't want to do what's best for our client? We're telling you what to do. You find someone that's interested, and then we'll help you. So how do you navigate all that with new agents? Because how fast you're growing?
Yeah, I've actually had to start learning how to really simplify that process a lot. I used to spend a lot of time one-on-one with somebody when they were brand new, because I wasn't hiring enough. So I had the time to sit there and do it. But to be honest, it wasn't the best way to go about it anyway, because it takes more of your time to do that. And anyway, so now instead of spending so much time like training, and because I've realized there's no way that you can possibly learn everything you possibly need to know before getting on the phones. So my goal now is to always just get people on the phones as quickly as possible, because you realize a lot more, or you learn a lot more by actually doing and getting in front of these different situations and honestly making mistakes. I think like with the virtual world, we are blessed that we can be on Zoom and be able to receive live coaching, like while you're on a call with a client, which is incredible because we didn't have that when we were in the home. You had to sit in front of them. And if you didn't know what you were saying, you had to kind of figure something out. And if you messed it up, you learned later. So I started to realize kind of in the virtual world, it's an absolute like amazing benefit that we can be live on Zoom and somebody can hear you and give you live feedback. But if you're doing that too much, and as a leader, if you're taking too much of your time to jump in every single time to save them on the call, it's going to take them way longer to learn what they actually need to know. So like I just remember again, like being in home for me, it was like you had to figure it out or you messed it up, and it was an expensive mistake. And trust me, I never made the same mistake twice. So I kind of try to do the same thing even in the virtual world too. I do like a script training. We do a psychology of the sale training. Like it's like 2.5 hour training. It's nothing crazy while they're waiting for their carriers to come in. And then my goal is like, as soon as you have at least one carrier, you should be on the phone that day. I tell everybody to start with some kind of aged leads. You're going to get way more leads for your money. Or like you mentioned, Grady, I actually have a few agents as well that have started more of like a referral based network. They're like, hey, I have a great network. Is it cool if I go and, talk to these people in this group that I'm a part of, this, that, and like, figure out. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to learn the product. You have a lot more room for error. It's somebody and it's like you're going to make that commission, then we can reinvest back into leads. So there's so many different ways to make it work. But when you are brand new, like the absolute key is you just have to get started as quickly as possible. Also, like from like a leadership perspective, like virtual is great. But if you have like an office or somewhere that you can bring people in, like get people in that office, they're going to learn so much faster. We just had a brand new agent literally fly in from last night, flew in today, got her leads, and she closed the deal within like the first 2 hours because she's sitting right here at my desk. So I'm able to help her. And so it's just things like that, like get people on the phone as quickly as possible. I haven't even had time to actually do any kind of script training with her. I'm like, you need to get paid. We just need to get you on the phone. And it worked out. So like people can't be scared or like, oh, I need to know everything, or I need to know this. I need to know every product. It needs to be like perfect. Like there's too many carriers. There's too many products. Like just focus, get on the phone with the client. You have, I have everybody use the in-home help through FFL America, the underwriting genie. Put it in the underwriting genie. And then we've used toolkits in the past, but now the Integrity Life Center where you can quote. So you can quote all the carriers at once. So put it in the underwriting genie. They'll tell you exactly what carrier and what product to go with. You don't have to think twice about it. You can plug it into the quote tool. It's going to show you all the carriers in order. Here we go, John and Mary. This one's going to be the best fit for you. And then that's the one you're going to go with. So keep it super simple, but just get people on the phone because they're going to learn way more by actually doing than sitting and training. And we don't get paid to sit and watch YouTube videos. Like we get paid to be on the phone and help people with their life insurance policies. So put yourself in that position to get paid instead of putting yourself in the position, taking all your dial time during the day on YouTube, watching videos. Do that at night when you can't dial anymore.
Amen. It's so, it's scary. It's nervous. It's uncomfortable. We know it. Like we know these feelings that you're going through as a new agent. And sometimes you need to harness someone else's beliefs. Sometimes you need fake beliefs. Sometimes you need to look at your kids or look at where you live or look at what you drive and go, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and I'm ready for change. And the way you change is by picking up the phone and getting uncomfortable. And I always make this joke and I still think it's funny, but the clients aren't going to meetings at the YMCA learning how to not buy life insurance from Nicolette. They're just normal people. And our job is just to learn how to answer their questions, retain control, clear the calendar so we can continue to ask them questions, dig into the need, which is why did you fill out this request? Because we don't tear pages out of the we don't tear pages out of the white pages and hand them to agents. They just start dialing random numbers. These are people that at some point requested coverage. They want our help. They're looking for someone to guide them because they don't know someone else that can sell them life insurance, and we can. And so we feel your anxiety as a new agent, but maybe you got to look at the leaderboard and see what people are doing. Look around the confidence of others. Like we were all terrified at one point. When you first started and having to go in homes, I don't want, I mean, you may even know, Grady, I was born tough, but I was, I had to like look at my kids a bunch of times. I had a picture of my wife and kids in front of me while I was dialing. And every time I'd want to go to Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or watch a video or listen to their training call, I'd have to go to the only thing that's going to change my family's life is dialing the phone. And yes, I know might not be perfect right now, but the clients or the leads who want to become clients are just looking for someone that cares. And if you can care more than you're scared, you're going to protect them. What was your new agent's name that made a sale?
Ellie.
Ellie. Congratulations, Ellie. That's you care more than you were scared. And it shows huge initiative to fly to Arizona to live train, but to put because she walked in and she goes, I could just fiddle around and I could say, I can't find my logins and I can't do, but she goes, I'm going to dial and I'm going to figure it out. And she figured it out. So congratulations. But that's the message for anyone out there that's watching this or that's watching or that's feeling anxiety about this business is it's normal, right? It's normal. It's normal to have anxiety when you speak. It's normal to have anxiety the first time you start, but find something deep within you that's going to carry you through, because on the other side of being scared is amazing. It's where the Green Valley is. If anyone watched Land Before Time as a kid with the tree stars, might be too young for you, but I grew up with children. Definitely moving on. But so okay, I love that. I mean, you're on it. So okay, so dial the phone. Let's talk about like some specifics. Is there an amount of time? Is there a number of dials? Is there a lead type you're starting them with? Or is it kind of just, anything, if you had a checklist that you were trying to get people to get going with?
Yeah. Like I said, I have everybody start usually on aged leads, whether it's like age final expense.
Right.
If they have absolutely no sales experience, I'm usually going to start them there. They're going to get the most objections they possibly could get, which is how you're going to get good at objections, is actually getting them, coming across them. We were doing a sales training in the office this morning, I believe, and doing objections. And there's some you're going to get that are just like crazy out-of-pocket one-off objections. And so Jay's like, listen, focus on the 80%. Don't focus on the 20%. Focus on the objections you're going to get 80% of the time. Don't worry about these ones you're going to get 1 or 2 times. But how are you going to know until you really get on the phone? Like, yes, we can train you on the most common objections, but when you get on the phone, you're saying, wow, I get not interested a lot. Okay, so you, agent A, you get not interested every single time. So we got to work on that for you. And maybe other agent over here, he gets, I already got whatever it is that they're struggling to overcome. So you need to figure out what is that most common objection you're getting so you can get better and overcome it. So I always start people off on aged leads. And then we also even in our script, and we have Christina, we're very blessed to have her on our team too, the referral queen.
I love her.
Where we have all her referral scripts, everything, where it's literally, she's typed it in, it's worded in there. When you're at the beneficiary, hey, I'm assuming you want to make sure, John and Mary, that your son knows how this policy works too, correct? So I don't want you to worry. I'm going to make sure they know everything, like planting that seed and then moving forward. And that's also huge for new agents too, is learn how to collect referrals. And you kind of mentioned it too, where you're don't be scared. If you care, I tell people that all the time, don't be scared that you're going to get the client the wrong product or do something wrong. If you are genuinely trying to help somebody, you're not going to do something wrong. Any coverage you get them is better than no coverage, which is typically what they had before you got on the phone with them. So don't stress so much about, well, is term perfect? Is whole life perfect? Is IUL perfect? I just don't know exactly what to do. Do something. And anything you do for that family is going to be better than absolutely nothing. So that's something don't have that fear going into it. You just have to get on the phone and take action.
Amen. It's so true. So, okay. So let's, that was wonderful. So I want to talk though about what you've done in your business, right? So our job is to lead and find great people, teach them how to sell and teach them how to lead. And it seems simple, but we've had 30, 40, 50,000 people come through our agency, and 1,500 have issued a policy so far in April. And I'm so blessed for the 1,500. I wish the 48,500 that they found something else that they're passionate about. But this business is a business. And like any business, if we look at the numbers of businesses that are reported by people who report on businesses, that like 90% fail in the first 2 years and 95% fail in the first 5 years. So we got a 5% chance at making this. You seem to have, you're at about year 5 and you're now making it. So there's something inside of Nicolette that is a 5%er that is not succumb to the stresses and the pressures that most people, right? It would say 95% would be most people let break them. So there's something in you about building and sticking to things, but there's also how you're recruiting and leading. So when you talk about now how you're building your business, you know, mindsets you have around it, ebbs and flows, the waves you've gone through, and let's talk about, you know, building a business, which is truly the most incredible part. You can write $1 million and on your own pen in this industry, you can also make $1 million in overrides. And both are amazing, but one is a job and one is freedom. And that's what is incredible about this industry. So let's dig into that.
Yeah. I always say, like, I have not gotten to this point the fastest by any means, but like I'm still gotten here, and I have so much like farther still to go. And like, I'm not the person that got there overnight or, you know, got there in, you know, a year, 6 months, which I think is like a lot more like the reality of this business. Like most people don't just like get there overnight. Like there's a lot of challenges along the way. And I always say like this journey is going to be very different for everyone. The person that I was 5 years ago when I started in this industry is nowhere near the same person that I am today. Like, and I'm so grateful for that. It has been a huge personal development journey, I think, more than anything else. I don't think I was super confident when I first started in this industry, and it's not something I even recognize. Like, I think entrepreneurship and business, it brings a lot of stuff out of you that like you wouldn't otherwise have to face. Like, you have to face everything honestly internally head on and learn how to work through it. The thing about me is I knew the day I got into this industry is that I was going to do this. I was never going to quit. I was going to make it happen no matter what. I remember my first, it wasn't at the first month. I think it was maybe my second month. Like, it was the first time, like all of a sudden it started to be really hard because I came in, it was fun. I was loving it. It was great. And then all of a sudden I hit a wall. And I remember when I hit that first wall and I'm like, I want to quit. And I sat down and I like wrote a note to myself, or it was to myself, but it was saying like, hey, like, you know, you can't quit because like, if you quit now, like you're like not going to be able to show like all these other people, like how to push through it too. And I had a specific person in my mind. It was one of my friends who I was trying to hire as an agent. And I was like, you can't quit because you're going to let her down. Like, don't let her down. So like, keep pushing through. And I never ended up even recruiting her into life insurance. I just like thought like she'd be so good at this, but like I have to prove it so that like she'll do this. And if I push through, like that's, I'm going to be able to help her in the future. But I remember writing that note to myself and I was just like, no matter what, I'm going to figure it out. And like, just thinking about like, there are people out there that I will probably work with in the future that I have no idea who they are yet. But like, there are people out there that are like counting on me to be like, to figure this out and go through the hard stuff, to be able to coach them and help them through it too. So like, I can't give up. I just had that mindset going into it, no matter what was going to make it happen. I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there. It's like, you know, deep inside, like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but it's very challenging along the way. Like, people always ask, well, have you ever wanted to quit? Yeah, a million times. Like, I think my entire first 2 years, I probably cried like every other month. Like, and my mentors are probably like, what the heck? Like, you know, they have no idea what to say to me. And, but I just always kept pushing through. And so once I got through that on like the sales side and I had kind of mastered how to be like consistently selling, I'm like, okay, great. I started to build a team, which was my second year with FFO. I built up a team, got a team doing $150,000 a month, which was so exciting. Like, your VP, like, you know, it was so great. And I hit that month and then all of a sudden I lost everybody. And it was a lot of stuff I had to learn from a leadership perspective that I was not doing correct. I was not teaching people the best way to go about stuff. I didn't have like the best mindset about, you know, close a client and it was like, boom, 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 on to the next one. Like, you just kept running ahead. Like, I didn't know what a chargeback was. And so it's like all these things had happened. But I just eventually got to a point where I realized like all of the hard things that were happening, like every time I made it through that where like when I was an agent, it was getting those first chargebacks. Then it was, hiring an agent and coaching them through chargebacks. Then it was building a team and losing the whole team. Like, and every time I went through something really difficult where I just wanted to quit, and I'm like, maybe this is a sign I shouldn't be doing this. And then I would be like, no, what would I be going back to? Like, let's be realistic, because I can either have two options: quit or keep going. If I quit, I go back to, my 9-to-5 job. What does my life look like in 10 years from now? The same. Okay, I can suck it up, stop complaining, and figure out a way through this. And what does my life look like in 10 years? Okay, way better. I'm going this path. But eventually I just got to a point where I learned to like love the adversity and the challenges. And I think that that's really helped along the way. So I lost the whole first team, rebuilt up a second time, and then was kind of stagnant for an entire year. I think for me, what had happened is I had like got back to that point again and just kind of like took a breath and was like, oh, like, okay, I made it. And now we're consistent, and that's great. But I definitely like took my foot off the gas. And I like even got to a point where I'm like started to get kind of like bored in the business, right? Where I'm like, we're doing the same thing. Like, okay, everything's good. Everybody's getting paid. We're all happy, but like, we're not growing anymore. So at the beginning of this year, really like the biggest things that changed is Jay kind of put it into perspective of there's like 4 things you need to be doing in this business. Everybody's probably heard it before, but sell, develop, hire, and market. And so I realized like, okay, I figured out how to sell consistently. If I just wanted to sell life insurance for the rest of my life, I could. Like, I had figured that out. I could make plenty of money doing that, live a great life, fine. I had, I'm like, cool, we got it, whatever. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer for 10, 12 hours a day in 10 years from now. Like, now is fine, but like, that was never my goal. Develop. I had figured out from all the mistakes I had made from building that first team, what I was doing wrong, and then started to figure out, okay, like now I'm figuring out how to develop people, but I didn't have enough people to develop because I wasn't hiring and I wasn't marketing. So that's something that really changed like at the beginning of this year for me, is starting to like look at this more like a real business perspective, instead of just like a fun sales organization. You hire people in and it's all great. Like, how do we actually take a look at this as a business? Starting to go to events. I like wasn't really going to all the events that FFL does, or the lock-in in Vegas with FFL USA, or Sean's event in Florida. And so I've just started to like really invest in like going into all of these things and like learning from everybody. And in Florida, Sean said something about like, you don't have a business if you like, I don't remember if he said if you like died tomorrow, or like if you took a step away, but it was like, if you are not here anymore and the business doesn't continue to grow without you, you don't have a business. You don't have a profitable business. I'm like, okay, so I need to start thinking about this differently. So I've, hired an admin. I've hired like a marketing team to help me with my social media. Like, I'm putting money into other places to grow this as a business. And I think that's been a huge shift too on just like my mindset around it.
There was so much that was fantastic. And I mean, I love hearing I feel empathy for the agents that were with you and then they left and lost, but it's their choice. That's fine. That was their choice to go. But from that, you chose to learn, what was I not doing as a leader? What was I not teaching? What was I not preparing them for? Oftentimes we'll call it the antidote, right? We'll give them some antibodies and say, you're going to get chargebacks. There's going to be clients that are going to fall. But if we tell everybody, hey, it's the best thing ever, you're going to go right and everything's going to stay on the books and the commissions they are, but there's challenge there. You need to sell the client on making sure there's no reason to talk to anybody else. We're a broker who put you in the best situation. Agent might come by. Like, there's things we need to teach people that you learn through that process that then has made you so much better. And I love hearing about you investing, because that is so crucial to businesses. We must grow as people. My job is to grow as a person, and my business to create room for other leadership to step into. If I don't do that, then why am I here? Why do I exist? And that's everyone's role, right? From your newest person, if they go sell 12 grand this month, great. But if they go hire 5 people and sell 12 grand next month, they're setting a standard for their team that's what we do here, right? Versus leading with a 20, 30, 40, 50K energy to create, this is the standard on our team, which then mints people that have income to then be able to create breathing room in their lives. And that's just so powerful. Love it. Jay, I mean, I love Jay. Say, sell, develop, hire, market. Very, very just so crystal clear on what we should be doing. And so to hear you doing those things. Now, what are some things you have staff doing? Because in a recruiting leadership type situation, right, I can't, especially even as a producer, right, as soon as you hit a 20,000 a month, you should be hiring staff. You should be hiring someone to call the carriers, follow up with your clients. You should be implementing some level of capital back in your business. Leads are important, and then hiring someone to support you is important. I mean, that's a whole nother training call. But then especially as a manager, because your job is to be selling or recruiting or teach people how to sell or teach people how to recruit. So doing admin work. So what do you have from a leadership standpoint? What do you have your admin and staff doing now?
Right now I have her starting like with onboarding and contracting. And then also taking over like on the initial recruit. So tracking like, because I've done more recruiting calls probably this month alone than I have my entire first 2 years in business combined. Like, so I'm doing all these calls, which is fantastic, but making sure like we're not losing people in the process. So she keeps up with all of that, managing like, when they get into coursework, keeping up, making sure like how are they doing with their exam, when they pass their test, and getting them like through that pipeline, getting them through onboarding, contracting, until we get them to a point where they're ready to be on the phones. So that's been a huge help. It's been like about like, I would say 5 weeks. So it hasn't been a long time yet. I also learned from going to Sean's event about like, give it 90 days. Like when you do hire somebody or like anytime in business, like do 90 days and then look and say, is this profitable? Like, is this doing what I need it to do? And if not, like move on, like cut it and move on, or like figure out like where there's something missing. So I have that in my mind. I'm sure there's going to be other things I can probably ask you, Grady, for advice on that I could have her start doing as well. But I just had her start with that onboarding, contracting, and helping me manage the recruiting pipeline. I hired also a videographer team. So we do like filming 1 to 2 times a month. They help me with like, what to say, like content ideas. They ask me like, what am I going for to help me build my personal brand? I don't think that that's something like everybody needs to go do. Like something I think is really cool is like, even as a brand new agent, like you can still be marketing on social media, on TikTok. Like I, do my own TikTok and they help me with Instagram. And like, I get recruits from both places from just posting like silly videos about how many sales did you do today? Or like I talk about on mine, like, red flags to look for in the insurance industry or whatever that may be. And like, Jay always explains it as like people out there like looking for an opportunity. Like there are people out there looking for it, but like they don't know to ask you if you don't like make your presence like that you should be the person for them to ask. So that's been something that's been a big focus for me, is starting to kind of like build up that personal brand to like bring more people into the business. Or now we have this office to start recruiting people into this like physical office that we have. And so that's kind of what I've done. Oh, and social media. I have for the team social media, I have somebody that does all the graphics and stuff like that, because even though I love Canva and it is very fun for me to make those graphics, I had to like separate that because it's not a good use of my time, even though I love doing it. So that one was tough for me, but I did hire someone for that too.
How do you feel personally now that you have an admin staff? How does it make you feel?
More like a business owner.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. Like when you have that person, like it's kind of a double-edged sword. One, they empower you, but two, you're like, I got to make sure I make enough money to support this person because they're depending on me now that I continue to evolve and grow. And it's healthy pressure, right? It's kind of like, there's other companies that go, you just wrote 20 grand, go buy a Corvette. And we're like, hey, no, hold on. Just save your money for a second. You just made some money. Don't go buy a stupid car right now. But like, we try to go, let's lock out leads. Let's get staff. Let's get a good CRM. Let's invest in things that are going to make the business healthy. And so I love hearing that because I meet so many people as they send up these letters and they're like, oh, I'm just doing it myself, or I'm not doing it. My mom helps me, or I got a VA in the Philippines. And I'm like, all those are okay. But like, as soon as you have a real person that like, you can like have ideas, because then their whole intent is, how do I help you grow this business? Because if they help you grow the business, they're going to profit as well. And so it's just such a mature way. So, I mean, Nicolette, you're exceptional. I'm so proud and happy for you. I'm so excited to see where you go. You've got such a growing team. What is some final rally cry advice you've got for these agents as we send them off today?
Yes. Just don't give up, because I think to myself, there's so many times when I could have given up, when I wanted to give up, and when I think people around me wanted me to give up or didn't believe that I could do this. And so if you have already started this, or you're thinking about getting into this industry, you already have something inside of you that believes in you. Hold on to that and don't ever give up on yourself. You're making that decision, you just have to make that decision first, but don't ever lose that light in yourself. Don't let that go, and don't let anybody else take it away from you either. Keep pushing. This is not something that is easy by any means. It is absolutely so challenging, but in the best way. Like I said, it's been way more of a personal development journey for me than anything else. And I'm so beyond grateful for that. And I continue to grow and push myself every single day. So don't ever give up. Keep pushing through, whether it takes you a year to get to this point, or if it takes you 5 years to get to this point. Who cares? Keep going. This is the best industry. In my opinion, I've looked at other industries. This is the best one, where if you just put your head down, there's not a lot that really could get in your way except for you giving up. So keep pushing. Don't give up. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Drop an NM in the chat below to show Nicolette some love. Look forward 3 to 5 years. If you do nothing, nothing will change. And if you get after it and go, just like Nicolette said, everything could change for you. I like the possibility more than certainty of nothing changing. So Nicolette, thank you again. Have an amazing day. Keep crushing. Are you going to Ignite?
I'll be there.
How many people are you bringing with you?
A lot. I think our agency, we're doing a lock-in as well. And we've always done team lock-ins, but we were talking about as a leadership team, I'm like, you guys, this is gonna be the last one I think we can do is one group, because we have so many people. I'm like, we cannot fit everybody in one house. We got 2 massive houses. We'll probably have 35 people from out of town, and then probably the same that live here in Phoenix as well. So I mean probably 70 people at least.
Incredible. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Thank you again. Have an amazing night. Everybody, appreciate you joining us. We're here every Thursday. Have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us, and go out there, make it happen. Talk soon. Bye for now.